Hey, it's Barry Mold, still getting your small business unstuck. And we're here with another set of entrepreneurs that are reimagining their business. How would you like to be in the catering and events business during a pandemic? Well, that's exactly what these two people had to face. Jaron Dunham and Michael Forgas, who are the owners of Funky's Catering. They had to do exactly that. Guys, welcome.
Welcome. Barry. Thanks for having us.
So Jaron, let's start off with you. What was your thought when this governor was shutting down the state of Ohio because of the pandemic?
Well, that's an interesting question because when you start having something taken out of your control, all of a sudden somebody's dictating you how your business is going to be able to survive or not survive, and you don't have any choice of it whatsoever. You get a little nervous at first. You readjust, you have to make some changes, and then you start trying to figure out how you're going to solve the problem. And that's what we had to start doing from day one, which was March 15th, I think was when.
Yeah, roughly that. So Michael, were people starting to, in late February, early March, were they starting to adjust their plans?
They weren't until the governor pulled the plug. I mean, because Governor DeWine in Ohio pulled the plug quickly. And he went from everything's okay to nothing's okay in one press conference. And everybody had to adjust. You went from having a fully loaded calendar to zero. And
wow.
And yeah, it was
a shocker. A shocker. So of course you're one of those, you're what I call a contact business, right? You do things where people are in close contact when they're having events and they eat food and things like that. And what I've noticed is you came out with something called Responsible Restart Funkies. Jaron, tell us about the program that you put together to really fit the times.
Well, it's a cumulative effort between our managers, Michael and myself, also sitting around and recognizing what were the current guidelines that were available to restaurants in the state of Ohio. And we considered ourselves more falling within those guidelines because the venues that we have full working kitchens, full dishwashers with high temp boosters on them, and being able to reconfigure our floor plan to be able to follow the restaurant guidelines. That's the genesis of where the Funky's Restart program started from. And then we basically, as more adjustments were made from the state of Ohio, opening things up, we've been keep adjusting and updating it. But we looked at it as, hey, we're following all the guidelines that they're setting for restaurants. We look at ourselves as a restaurant. So we were going to design and sort of put the backbone of this restart based on that program.
So Michael, what specific things did you put in place? In other words, you're having events. Can people stand to each other? Can they sit at the same table? Can you have hors d'oeuvres? Can you have bands? What happened?
Well, in phase one, we when people came in, we sat them. And phase one ended on June 1st. And then starting in June 1st, we started figuring, okay, as people come in, how are we going to handle it? So we set up a welcome station, and we have all the signs out. And what we're going to do, we have lines of people, depending on alphabet. Usually we split them into two, sometimes three, if the guest count went above 100. And then we took their temperature, and either they were over 100 degrees or they were under 100 degrees. If they were under 100 degrees, they were welcomed in. Then we had them come, they went up front. We already had the information from our clients, their names, addresses, email addresses. They just came and then initialed and signed the waiver, basically, saying, okay, we understand that we are choosing to go into a space to be around multiple people. Then we escorted them to the table, and then we did table service as well for cocktails. We decided the best thing to do would be disposable glassware, even though we have very nice, elegant spaces, but we felt that was the best thing, making it a single use, and then into the garbage can it went. And then we also had walk-up bar service. So we had spacing taped onto the floor as to where they could stand in those things. As they came up to the bar, the bartender would make that initial round of drinks, then they would spray and sanitize the station, and then invite the next guests up going. As we had our servers going around, we decided to have larger platters with napkins spread nicely on the front of the platter. The hors d'oeuvres on the back of the platter. They would come up, offer you hors d'oeuvres, say, please take a napkin. You would grab a napkin, we'd take a tong, and then we would place that on the napkin for them.
Wow, amazing.
So-
And amazing. And Jaron, were people sitting next to each other? Like, was there going to be like tables of 7 or 10 people, or everyone was spaced apart?
Well, we just followed the same guidelines that they had for tables, that you could have no more than 10 people at a table.
Okay.
But
So
we-
people were
we're-
sitting. So,
Yeah.
so Michael, people were sitting like normally, but 10 people at a table.
Well, up to. We
Up
actually
to.
recommend to our clients that they maybe did, 6 to 8. And because we reconfigured all of our dining rooms, going to tables 6 feet apart, edge to edge on the tables. And so how we reconfigured the dining rooms, it worked out well. And we left service quarters for our staff to come back in so that we would really, eliminate people touching.
So,
Well, yeah.
Jaron, let me ask you, you also do weddings there, right?
Yes.
How did that work out? Did the bride and groom stand next to each other, or is this an excuse for the groom not to stand next to his future mother-in-law? I mean, for his mother-in-law?
Well, we try not to meddle in the family dynamics when it comes to those things. To be honest with you, Barry, a lot of this, Barry, quite honest with you, is we're learning as we go along, because it's about public perception of what is going to be considered acceptable or not being considered acceptable, and how people are going to feel getting in groups of 100 and 150 as things open up. We know Chicago is still really, we're locked down, and we're blessed to be in Ohio, where we've had some opportunities to expand out and experience this. And we love sharing what our experience is with people, so they can get ahead of the curve when they get the opportunities to be able to start opening. And I tell you what, the guests were very excited to be out. They think they were very excited to interact with their friends and family. The bride and the groom were right next to each other the whole time. They felt the love in the room of all the people that were there. And, we made that day special for them, because I think what's challenging is everybody is being forced to delay or reschedule. They're losing that sense of the day's special purpose. And
Right.
we were able to give the one bride and groom the day of a special purpose. They felt really great about it. They were super happy. The mom was really happy, got lots of compliments from everybody. And to be honest with you, Barry, not one single guest that came there gave us any issues at all.
That's great. That's
Nobody
great.
said anything about taking my temperature. Nobody said anything about signing a contact tracing form. Nobody said anything about the staff wearing gloves and masks. Nobody said anything about having bathroom attendants coming in and cleaning up after everything. They just took it in stride. And,
Right.
that's a great sign for the public to be able to sort of look at going, okay, we can get back to doing this. And
In fact, as the events go on, the people get more comfortable.
Right.
At
Good
first
to
they
hear.
walk in and someone's in the bathroom with them, they're going, what? But then all of a sudden they see that someone's there with a spray and they're wiping, and all of a sudden, you know what? After that's happened, people start to go, wow,
Yeah.
they're thinking about these
Yeah,
things.
my
We're
safety is
constantly
concerned.
wiping door handles.
Right.
Where we know that people are going to be and where they're touching and where those things are, all of a sudden they know that we are constantly maintaining that. They start to go, yeah,
Yep.
okay, I feel pretty good in here.
And you got to be visible about it. You
Right.
can't
Yeah.
you can't go behind the scenes. You've got to
Right.
show people that this is what you're doing.
Right.
Because people are concerned about safety. One of the biggest, I guess, controversial issues across the United States has been face coverings. And you said that your employees are wearing face coverings, or any of the people attending the event wearing face coverings. And was there any conflict between people wearing face coverings or not wearing face coverings?
Be honest with you, Barry, a couple of people walked in from the beginning wearing them, but then once half an hour, 45 minutes into it, all the guests were just having a good time.
Right.
We decided to make sure we maintain the face coverings for our staff. Last thing that we wanted to do is provide any additional scrutiny of how people look at our safety standards and our
Right.
habits and stuff like that. But I guess as we move forward, we'll see how that comfort feeling and way people started reacting to it as we move forward. At that point in time, people were just enjoying themselves, and they didn't seem to have any issues with it. And we certainly didn't hear any rumblings from anybody.
The thing that we did from the very beginning is we said, okay, let's look at all the parameters. So if someone decides to come to a wedding and they know it's going to be 100 people, they've already gone through the psychological distribution in their mind saying, I'm going to be okay with that.
Absolutely.
And if I'm not, I'm going to go home if I feel like I'm in a place where I'm not safe. The minute because the first couple people, when we were taking their temperatures, but as people coming behind them, they started going like this, putting their forehead.
Right.
And we had, they get it. They watch TV every day as well. So we took that mindset. Let's put ourselves in the mindset of a guest coming, and what are they going to feel comfortable with first? And then second of all, what's going to make them feel comfortable about being in the environment around other people? And that's
the last question I want to ask you, what about dancing? How did that work, or that didn't go?
well, we have created what's called a modified traditional dance floor, because right now, you know, what they've allowed us to do is have dancing, but you still have to meet the guidelines. So in our modified traditional dance floor, what we do is we set up high top cocktail tables. We ask people of no more than 6 to gather around those tables. We space them in the dining room space so that they are distance apart, but that you can't really have a mass dance floor type of thing. I mean, no conga lines. I mean, those type of things.
No shout.
Yeah, no shout. But and then people.
Oh no shout! What's a wedding without shout?
That's a classic wedding song. It's completely thrown out the door.
Right.
No celebration.
No. And so what happens is people just, I mean, they stay in that, and occasionally we have to be the COVID police, you know,
Right.
and say please, and you know, but everybody gets it. It's not like someone's going to start getting belligerent with you, and they pretty much just stay and dance and space around those things. Now, you know, bride and groom does their first dance. You know, they do parent dances. I mean, those type of things, family dance. I mean, those things you do, and we just monitor that, and everybody gets it. But you know what? They're happy just to be in an environment, and there's a live band playing, and they're having fun. You know,
Well, I just want to congratulate you guys for really taking this on. You're definitely an area that is not easy to come back, but hopefully with folks like you, people get to getting back to something that resembles at least normal, because I think it's important. Where can people reach Funky's?
Well, funkiescatering.com, first of all, and you can get information regarding what we're doing. And obviously, if you can contact us, and then our sales manager will be more than happy to share the Restart program or any of the safety protocols that we're putting in place at our venues. But Barry, Michael, and I'd like to take an opportunity to do a shout out to, we're part of something called Leading Caterers in America, and there are 3 caterers in Chicago, Blue Plate, Catering by Michaels, and Tasty, that they're suffering because they haven't had the opportunity to be able to open up and stuff again. And we just want to give them a shout out saying, we're behind you, man. We're trying to do the best we can to give you all the information and all the stuff that we possibly can share with you to be able to get back to that once you guys are allowed to open up and do stuff.
we Zoom with them every week.
Yeah.
We Zoom with them every week. So we keep sharing information back and forth with all the folks in there. But you know, we've all got to band together, and we've all got to band together to show the public that people that are in the public business are thinking about their safety,
Absolutely.
thinking about their issues, but also thinking about their life. I mean, the best line for the first wedding that we did was the mom's last line. "This was my only daughter. Thank you very much for making this a regular, normal wedding."
Wow, it's great. It's great.
And you know, and they were before June 1st, so we couldn't let them dance.
Wow.
But they still had a great night. It wasn't by 8:30 everybody went home. They were all there to the end, and it just, I mean, it just made you feel so good on the inside. Man, we took care of that family, and they're just happy. And then that email we got back, you know, from Mrs. Hilberg was like, wow, great.
We were able to do what we enjoy doing, which has been 3 months in the making for us, which has been very arduous and very, very hard, because you surround yourself with the staff and people that want to do that because that's what their calling is to make other people happy and be part of their special life celebrations and their one life opportunities, and to be able to get back into doing that again. But it just gives everybody an uplift and a feeling, and we've got tons of people wanting to come back to work. We got tons of people that are ready to start doing it all again. So
We have not had one employee you've asked to come back that said no. We haven't had one.
Listen, I have all the faith in guys like you who are creative entrepreneurs that are going to bring America back after this. So thank you so much.
Barry, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.